What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU, and I'm still coming down from the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer hype.
Hello, Peter.
But let's be honest, I think it's going to be a while until most of us come down from it. And if you haven't heard, the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer broke the record for most online views in its first 24 hours after release, which is insane, but not unexpected. It got 355.5 million views worldwide, topping the total of 289 million views for the first trailer for Avengers Endgame. So needless to say, I think people are pretty dang excited for this film. And this is just the teaser. Can you imagine if they actually put all three Spider-Man on screen in a trailer for a significant amount of time? I think that would easily beat this teaser. So it doesn't look like the hype is going to stop anytime soon, which I know a lot of people really don't have a problem with. And if you're here in this video right now, that means you would like to know more about the plot of Spider-Man No Way Home. I must issue, however, a spoiler warning. I am about to talk about the actual plot for Spider-Man No Way Home. There are going to be spoilers in it. If you've been following me in my Spider-Man videos, you know that a lot of the leaks that I've been talking about are true. They were confirmed true by the teaser trailer. The same thing goes for these plot details that I'm going to be revisiting and breaking down right now. So you have been warned. I think a good majority of you have probably heard this one before, so I'm just going to read through it and then we'll talk about it and connect it to the trailer afterwards. It says, Peter's life is ruined after his identity was revealed at the end of the last Mysterio movie. Also keep in mind that this is literally somebody explaining it to another person. It says, he is now facing trial. Matt Murdock is his lawyer. Peter goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to cast a spell to make everyone forget that he is Spider-Man. However, something goes wrong with the spell and they break reality and bring 5 spider villains of other dimensions to the MCU. The Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man film, Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, the Sandman from the third Spider-Man film, the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, and Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, is talking to the others asking what is the last thing they remember, and they all say Spider-Man killed them. Doctor Strange wants to take them back to their original dimensions, but the villains fear that returning would mean that they would return exactly where they came from, meaning they would die again. Peter wants to let them free because he feels bad because the other Spider-Man in the other universes killed them. He wants to set them free, and Norman Osborn manipulates Peter into feeling sorry for them, and he frees them. Peter fights Doctor Strange and breaks the key, which is a cube that held them captive, and the villains are now free. If you caught my breakdown, you can remember that I mentioned the cube and that it was very important. I didn't remember exactly what it was at the time, but now I do thanks to this plot leak. It is the key that keeps them in the prison. But Peter breaks it. The villains are now free and they start destroying parts of New York. And to stop them, Peter somehow brings Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to the MCU to help him. There is a big rematch between Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Doc Ock, and between Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Electro. The final battle is at the Statue of Liberty, with the 3 Spider-Men fighting together, fighting the Sinister Six, and this person says, to be clear, I have no idea who the 6th member is, or when or how they come into the scene. So as you can probably tell, this is the plot of Spider-Man No Way Home. Pretty much all of this was confirmed in the very first teaser trailer. Now obviously it's a teaser trailer and it's not going to show all of this, but it did actually show quite a good majority of this. We did see all of these villains, or at least saw some part of them. And the villain that we were questioning if it was Lizard or not, I believe it now is because of this plot leak. Because keep in mind, I was sent this like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I did a video on it, we can go back and find that video, but it was way before the teaser trailer, and everything in it is accurate. Which also means, for some doubters out there, which I totally understand, but it also means that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man are indeed coming. And it sounds like they're going to definitely have their hands full helping our MCU's Peter Parker. Now, this actually does help clear up a few things in the teaser trailer. There is one specific scene where we see Doctor Strange Strange and Peter on a train. Doctor Strange is performing some crazy cool magic, and a lot of people were wondering if they're fighting here. And now the answer looks like yes, but the other question was, who are they fighting? And the answer is, they're fighting each other. And to me, it's kind of funny because it's like, sorry, Peter, but you stand no chance against Doctor Strange, and we can see that in this footage. Doctor Strange takes the train that they're on and duplicates it and sends them off into the sky. He's the master of the mystic arts. Sorry, Peter, you don't really have a chance here. But of course, they're going to be allies. I don't believe that they're going to actually be enemies throughout the movie. This will probably be a pretty epic fight, and then after, Doctor Strange is going to say something like, well, we have to get them back. And since they're destroying New York and they truly are evil, as Peter can see, he's probably going to agree. Now, another thing this confirms is that Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is going to be Peter's lawyer in the beginning. In my breakdown, I put a few photos of this mysterious person, and it really does look like Matt Murdock. And since this leak has been pretty accurate so far, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, that is him. And this leak actually confirms something that Alfred Molina said in a recent interview about returning as Doc Ock. Yes, he did give it away. He straight up just told everybody, yeah, I'm returning for Spider-Man No Way Home. He even said that he had a conversation with the director about how he was going to return when he was dead, which the director replied, in this universe, no one's really dead. And obviously with the multiverse, that's true. And he said that he was going to be taken from that moment at the very end when he is sinking into the water, which means he's going to be taken right before he dies. And we can assume that this is going to be true for the other villains as well. This is confirmed when Norman Osborn asks everybody what's the last thing you remember, and they all say Spider-Man killing them, except for the Sandman because he did not die, which is actually why I believe, and some other people do as well, that he's going to be good. In the trailer, we actually see sand with the lightning, and that could be him actually trying to protect Peter Parker. At the end of Spider-Man 3, Sandman and Peter parted ways peacefully. Peter Parker said, I forgive you, and Sandman was just trying to do it for his daughter. Now this says that the final battle is going to take place on the Statue of Liberty, and it's going to be the 3 Spider-Men versus the Sinister Six. And we've actually seen a leaked photo of the Statue of Liberty holding a Captain America shield, and this was from the set of Spider-Man No Way Home. So we can also believe that that is indeed going to be the final scene. And the last thing I want to talk about is something that is very key, pun intended, to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is the cube key that Doctor Strange has that Peter breaks. I've heard a little bit of rumblings around about what this key actually does, and it's pretty much like it says. It keeps the villains trapped inside of some sort of magical prison. The only thing I'm really unclear of right now is whether or not the villains kind of just pop out of the middle of the air, then Doctor Strange goes and he retrieves them and he puts them in the prison, or if they pop up in the sanctum somehow. That's kind of a part that I'm unclear of, but I would really love to see Doctor Strange fight these villains. I also heard that Doctor Strange somehow gets hurt, and he needs his power to kind of rebuild the key or keep it together, because that's how they're going to get them back to their respective universes, and that's why Doctor Strange is kind of going to be out of the picture and not going to be able to help Peter Parker, which is why the other Peter Parkers come in. And I know a lot of people were saying, well, we really want our Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, to kind of go into his own character, not really get help, and I do think we are going to see that in this film. I do think at some point Doctor Strange will kind of be taken out of the picture, and it's really just going to be about him, and it's going to be his decision to bring the other Spider-Man in, and it's going to be his decision on what to do with the villains. I do think he's really going to grow up here. But so far, that I know, that is the most accurate plot details that we have. Again, I got it way before the trailer came out, and when the trailer came out, it proved most of it real. So be sure to let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on Spider-Man news and of course MCU news. For live updates, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.